Please respond. Among ECE. Am I audible, please?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Nice. The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then, so we will be discussing this subject, probability theory and stochastic process, in this semester. So these are the details of your syllabus. Okay. Let me first show the syllabus scheme of evaluation and then I will discuss the other things. Okay. So this is probability theory and stochastic process. The prerequisites are none. The idea is whatever knowledge you had in your S2 level, with that knowledge, you can easily understand the concepts. That is the idea. By course outcomes, what we mean is at the end of this semester, what the student is supposed to know. That is what we mean by course outcomes. Okay, so after the last working day, probably you should be able to distinguish between random process and stochastic process. Then you should be able to model a communication system as a stochastic process. Then characterize linear time invariant systems driven by a stationary random process using autocorrelation and power spectral density functions. Okay, and you had your signals and systems in the first semester. Is it true? Please, one of you respond.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So in signals and systems, you must have come across the term LTA, linear time invariant system. Okay. Then linear time variant systems, linear systems, non-linear systems, time variant systems, time invariant systems. Okay. That is the classification of systems. Right? Then when it comes to classification of signals, you have come across deterministic signals, then random signals, okay, power signals, energy signals. Like that, you have the classification of signals, right? So this subject is dealing with random signals. By random signal, what we mean? A signal for which there is no mathematical description to indicate what could be the value of the signal at a given instant of time. If that is the case, I will say that signal as random signal. For example, in the case of a typical sinusoidal signal, say you have you have a mathematical expression that is for sinusoidal signal. Okay, so I can cancel this. For a sinusoidal signal, you can have sine omega ct. For that sine omega ct, okay, for that sine omega ct at any given instant of time, you can easily say what is the value of the signal. So that is a deterministic signal. Suppose I have a signal that is varying as a function of time. Okay. For example, as a function of time, signal is varying with amplitude on y-axis Suppose the signal is changing something like this. So at any given instant of time, if you want to know the signal amplitude, there is no mathematical expression. So this kind of signal where the presence of or the absence of mathematical expression, we call it as a random signal. When there is a random signal, how to model that signal, how to understand about that signal. So to understand about that signal, we take the help of probability. We will see what it is. So for example, suppose the signal is we're taking amplitudes, say from A2, then minimum amplitude is say A1. Okay, from A1 to A2, the signal is taking values. So what I do is I will take different time instants. I will take the corresponding amplitudes. In signals and systems, you come across sampling of a signal. Okay, at t equal to 0, t0, suppose amplitude is a0. At t equal to t1, amplitude is a1. Like that, at a different time instance, I have different amplitudes. When you see the random signal that is shown above, certain amplitudes are repeating. When I draw horizontal lines, certain amplitudes are repeating, right? That means, say, I have 1,000 samples. In 1,000 samples, probably signal with amplitude A0 might have occurred 10 times, signal with amplitude A1 might have occurred 20 times, like that. Different amplitude signals will appear with certain number of times. Okay, so from that data, I will consider what is the probability of signal taking an amplitude A0, what is the probability of signal taking an amplitude A1, and so on. This is how I get the information about the signal. Once I get the information about the signal in the form of numericals, all are numericals, right? Then I don't consider the original signal. I try to work with these numericals. So probability theory or the probabilities is a mathematical model to describe a signal. Is it fine? Even in signal systems, okay, you have the specification of amplitude of the signal at different time instants. Okay, once the signal is explained, depicted in the form of time instants and amplitudes, then we want to know how often a particular amplitude has occurred, how often a particular amplitude of the signal has appeared, like that. Okay, so the course outcomes 3, if you see what is being written over there in course outcome 3, let me expand. Okay, let me read out for you. Characterize LTI systems driven by a stationary random process using autocorrelation and power spectral density functions. You know what is autocorrelation function? Okay, and autocorrelation function, when you take Fourier transform of that, you will get power spectral density function, right? Okay. Then fourth outcome is understand the probability distribution functions of noise in a communication system, communication link. Okay, so once we have a list of amplitude of the signal at a different time instance, from that we get probability of uh, the signal taking a specific amplitude. Okay, once we have this probability, we represent that by a graph. Okay, along x-axis we take amplitude, along y-axis we take probability. Then from that curve we get other features like probability distribution function, probability density function, and so on. Okay, Okay, let us see what the syllabus is for us. Then introduction to the subject, that is what is going on. Then axioms of probability. By axioms, what we mean is statements. Okay. Then probability space. Then conditional probability. By probability space, what we mean is also known as sample space. Okay. Then conditional probability, then Bayes theorem, repeated trials, Bernoulli trials, then concept of a random variable. So till Bernoulli trials, it is purely the concept of probability. Okay. And whatever you consider in the first set of topics up to Bernoulli trials, okay, up to Bernoulli trials, it is the concepts you have already studied in +2 level or in mathematical course. Okay. Then from concept of a random variable, the novelty comes up. Then once random variable is defined, we have distribution and density functions, properties of distribution and density functions, and in signals and systems you have seen discrete type signal and continuous type signal. Similarly, a random variable can be a discrete type random variable, continuous type random variable. So for a discrete type random variable, we have distribution function, density function. Okay. Similarly, for other type of random variable. Then what follows next is normal, exponential, chi-square, Rayleigh, Nakagami uniform distributions. So these are the distribution functions. Then Bernoulli binomial Poisson distribution functions. Then negative binomial distribution functions. These are all distribution functions, different kinds of distribution functions. So in the first paragraph, what is indicated is the concept of probability, axioms of probability, okay, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, Bernoulli trials. Okay. Then concept of random variable, the distribution function, density function, properties of distribution functions, then types of distribution functions. Okay. Then continuous type random variable is being discussed. Is it okay? Then conditional distributions, because there is conditional probability, so conditional distributions. Then total probability theorem, Bayes theorem, then there is a mistake. Poisson approximation, okay. Then functions of one random variable, expectation, variance, moments, characteristic functions, related problems, one function of two random variables, joint moments, joint characteristic functions, conditions, conditional distributions, conditional expected values. Okay. What this second paragraph says is, if there is conditional probability, and you already know what the concept of conditional probability is. By conditional probability, we mean, suppose we want to know what is the probability of a student Okay. Visiting the campus when it is given that pandemic is very much existent. That is one conditional probability. Other conditional probability is what is the probability of a student visiting the campus, NIT campus, given that there is no pandemic. Okay. So that is what we mean by conditional probability. When there is definition for conditional probability, corresponding to that probability, there should be distribution functions. There should be um, other things. Once probability of an event happens, okay, there should be a random variable describing that. Okay? And normally the concept is whenever we have an experiment, what is an experiment? I am introducing new terms now. Let me write down on the whiteboard, right? Uh, yes, already I have selected. So let me go up. Okay. I am now introducing the term experiment. What is meant by an experiment? Any action that has got an outcome. It is an experiment. Okay. So any action that has got outcome. That has got outcome. It can be one outcome, several outcomes. So how do we define that? Suppose you have thrown a coin. Throwing a coin is an action. It has got an outcome. So head can appear, tail can appear. Suppose you have rolled a die. The outcome can be any one of the 6 possible digits that could appear. So for every action there is an there can be an outcome, right? Another example could be, suppose you went to a shop with money, you wanted to buy something, you purchased, you returned back. So the action of going out of the house has got an outcome of the article being in your hand. So any action you take that will have an outcome, that entity is called experiment. Is it okay? Then there is another term we refer to frequently, event. What is an event? It is the outcome of an experiment. So outcome of an experiment. There can be single outcome, there can be multiple outcomes. When there are multiple outcomes, multiple events. Okay. Sometimes what we do, we can combine, we can consider single outcome, single outcome. We can combine a few outcomes, combine a few outcomes. When I consider a single outcome, I can call it as an elementary event. Okay, it is elementary event. When I combine outcomes, okay, I hope things are okay. When I combine outcomes, I can refer to such things as composite outcomes. Okay, I hope things are clear. So till now what we have considered, experiment we have considered, event we have considered. Okay, under event there can be elementary event, there can be composite event. Under experiment you can have a random experiment and deterministic experiment. Is it okay? So we consider only random experiment. What is the example for deterministic experiment? You are doing experiments in the laboratory, whether it is physics lab, computer science lab, or chemistry lab, any lab. Before you perform the experiment, you have aim of the experiment. Then expected results. So before you perform the experiment, you have result in your mind. So that is deterministic. So other than that, if you get a result, that means you have not performed the experiment properly. When it comes to random experiment, no idea of what is the outcome. No idea of the outcome. I do not know what the outcome is. That is what random experiment. So in our subject, we are interested in this kind of thing, random experiments. We are interested all types of events, both elementary as well as composite. Is it fine? Uh, okay. When I perform an experiment, whether it is random or deterministic, it doesn't matter. What is the outcome of the experiment? Is it numerical or non-numerical? Okay. Suppose in a regular class where all the students meet in a classroom, physical classroom, okay, then randomly I will ask one student, what is your name? Then the student tells his name. Randomly, I will ask another student about his name. He will tell his name, right? So, what is going on actually? I am performing an experiment. What is the experiment? Knowing the name of a student. So, I put a question. That is an experiment. What is the outcome? Name is the outcome. So, in this experiment, I am getting the names of the students. Okay. This is non-numerical in nature. Now, each student is assigned a specific roll number. So, if I note down the roll number also, I will get numerical outcomes. Is it clear? So, when we perform the experiment, the outcome can be numerical or non-numerical. Another example could be throwing a coin. Head or tail we get. Okay. Numerical is throw a die. Okay. Then you get head or no 1 to 6. Then like that you can always imagine you have um, you have kept so many balls in a bag, different colored balls. Randomly you have picked up one ball. The color of that ball is the outcome. Then it is non-numerical in nature. Suppose you have written 1 to 100 numbers on pieces of papers. All 100 pieces are kept in a bag. You have randomly picked up one slip. Then the outcome is the numerical in nature. Like this, you have an experiment. Outcome of the experiment can be numerical or non-numerical. Now we are interested in non-numerical. Okay, when the experimental outcome is non-numerical, you assign numerical value to that. Okay, assign numerical value, and once you assign a numerical value, this process on the right hand side is similar to the process on the left hand side. So both are same to me once I assign a numerical value. Okay, and this set of numerical values refer to a particular experiment. Okay, now this set of numerical values are represented by a variable. Okay, and this variable takes so many values and there is no correlation about what is the outcome at a given instant of time. So the outcomes are random, I cannot predict. Hence, the value or the label assigned to that is also random variable. Suppose the outcome of an experiment can be I have thrown a die. one of the six possible values will appear. So I represent that by a random variable A. So random variable A refers to any one of the six values. Now we come across one more term. What is the sample space? By sample space, what I mean is collection of all possible outcomes. Okay, collection of all possible outcomes. So in the examinations, you may ask the teacher, what are the important questions? So the teacher may say, all the topics are important. So you take the syllabus sheet, see the content, see the concepts. So all the concepts are important questions. By that, what the teacher is trying to convey is the sample space is the content listed in the syllabus. Okay. So the teacher has to pick up the topics randomly, so he can pick up any topic. When you are reading, you go systematically one concept after the other. The reason being the concepts are logically arranged so that once the student follows the sequence of the concepts listed in the syllabus, probably he understands better. Okay. So sample space means all possible outcomes. Suppose all students have come back to the NIT campus and I found a student on the campus, maybe near the ECE department. Then I just inquired, okay, what is his name and what is his branch. If he is near ECE building, definitely, probably, or he belongs to ECE branch. Sometimes he may be a student from mechanical engineering, came to see his friend in the ECE department. That also can happen. But whether he is a mechanical student or ECE student, he is student of NIT Warangal. So the sample space is students of NIT Warangal. So whenever I see a student in the campus, he is definitely a student of NIT Warangal, maybe belonging to a specific branch. So sample space means that. I hope the concept is clear. So in the syllabus content, okay, let us come back to syllabus. We are referring to second paragraph, okay. In the second paragraph, second line, please. Functions of one random variable, then expectation, variance, moments, then one function of two random variable, joint moments. Okay, I'm referring to that. Here, once random variable is defined, I wanted to know what is the average value of that, because once we assign numericals to the outcomes of the experiment, it is no longer physical experiment for me. It is simply set of numerical values. So with those numerical values, what are the things I can find? I can find average of that sequence of numerical values. I can find moments. We will see what they are. Okay, and so on. Characteristic function. Okay. If there is one random variable, I can find associated means, moments. If there are two random variables, I can find joint moments. Then the question is, what is meant by function of one random variable? What is meant by function of two random variables? Suppose I ask you a question. Are you visiting NITW campus tomorrow? So if you are from Warangal, then the only constraint for you is your time schedule, right? Tomorrow, suppose you have to leave for some other place, then you can say, I may not be able to come. Okay. Suppose you are away from Warangal and I put the same question to you. Are you coming to the campus tomorrow? Then there are several things you have to consider. Suppose you have to travel by train, you should look for reservation and you should look for the safety because of the pandemic. Then you should see your engagements tomorrow because this question was put to you. Now, probably your engagements for tomorrow, they have been predetermined. Okay? I hope the things are clear. So your decision is dependent now on more than one factor. That is what I mean by function of two random variables. Is it fine? Suppose you have promised to meet your friend today, say at 12:30. Immediately after the class, I will call you. That is what you have promised your friend. Suppose the class extended beyond 12:30. And by the time the class is finished, suppose it is 12:40. So you did not expect that the class will be extended beyond 12:30. So that is a random variable. The class may be closed by 12:30 or it may extend beyond or it may be closed a few minutes ahead also. It is a random variable because there is no specific mathematical relation that describes the process. I hope the things are clear. Whatever you cannot predict, it is a random thing. Okay. In second paragraph, function of two random variables and associated density functions, distribution functions. In paragraph 1, it is single random variable, so corresponding distribution and density functions. In second paragraph, conditional probabilities are there, corresponding distribution and density functions, functions of one random variable, functions of two random variables, corresponding expectations and movements. Okay. I hope you are able to see what the syllabus is, right? Then second paragraph, last but one line towards right hand side, random process concept, stationarity and so on. Okay. By random process, see, random variable we have seen. Now it is a new term, random process. What is meant by random process? And signals and systems also, probably you must have come across this. Okay, let me see how best I can explain. Uh, okay. How many, suppose, who is dearest to you in your house? One of you, please respond. Anyone, please. Who is dearest person for you in the house? One of you, please. Anyone? Okay. Sai Teja is on. Okay. Then Madhu is online. Kirti, Kiran, PVS, Bhargav. Bhargav or Anjana, Amit, Amarnath. One of you, please respond. Akhita, Aditya, Abhinav, Aishwarya, oh, Raj. Who is there online? No one. Advaita. Uh, who is A57, please? Meet Papat or Popat, right? Who is there online? Amruta, Vaibhav. No one is online. What is this? See, one of you, please respond. Are you listening to me or not? Venkat is online. Shiva, Pradyumna, Naveen, Shashank, Chandu. Charan Sai. So no one is online. Varun Sai is online. Varun is also not online. Okay. So by random process, what I mean is what to do. No, please respond. Are you online? Okay. See, instead of wasting time, I will let me complete whatever I can. Okay. By random process, I mean, what I mean is, suppose I have a signal. Yes.
Sir,
Yes,
so
please.
till now you have muted us, sir.
Muted? Oh,
Yes, sir. Many of us
oh,
you have been
okay,
muted
okay.
us, sir. So that's
Oh,
why
sorry.
you're not.
Very nice. See, unless you tell me, I muted. The reason
You,
is I
sir, you're
wanted
not seeing
to.
chat box, sir. Sorry to tell you that. Many people we
Okay,
are messaging you.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for pointing out. Uh,
Thank you so much, sir.
yeah, yeah. True, true. That I must have a. I must have an eye on that also, right? Chart box. Okay. Okay, let me. Yes. Uh, you muted everyone. Sorry for that. Sir cannot. Can I will unmute. Okay. Hmm. How to unmute? Uh, Someone has raised the hand. Unmuted. Yes. So done entry. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now are you able to speak?
Yes, sir. Now we can speak.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Okay. Thank you. See, okay. In the case of random process, what happens is, suppose I have a signal. In terms of signal, I will tell. Okay. Then I will explain what is the role of a person in this concept. Suppose I have a signal V of t, say noise signal. Okay. And this noise signal has no definite mathematical expression. In the absence of mathematical expression, okay, how do we represent that signal as a function of time? Something like this. Random. Okay. Suppose I have observed the signal, say from 10 a.m. to okay 10 a.m. For 10 minutes, I have observed the signal. Then for the next 10 minutes, 10 a.m. maybe to say 10:20 a.m. Like this, an interval of 10 minutes I took, and I have captured the signal during that interval. Okay. When I consider several such graphs, say 10 such graphs I have taken. So this is one, then this is second graph. Like this, I have 10 graphs. Okay. 10 graphs I have taken. When you see all the 10 signals, okay, what you will find? No two time variations are similar. So, but all these signals are representing the noise waveform. Is it okay? So, the graph 1 is referred to as sample function 1. Why it is called sample function? You have come across sample value when a electrical signal is observed at distinct time instants, we get sample values. But here this is sample function. Okay? So the noise signal is represented by sample function 1. Similarly, sample function 2 and sample function 10. Okay. So this signal, noise signal, is represented by sample functions 1 to 10. Is it clear? So when a signal is represented by collection of sample functions, waveforms, this signal is no longer referred to as signal, but it is referred to as process, random process. So random process is a collection of sample functions. Is it fine? So random signal now is a collection of random process is a collection of random sample functions. Okay, here. Let me open that file as okay. That is what last but one line of second paragraph, random process concept. So I have given the concept of random process. Is it okay? Just now I asked you, who is the dearest person in the house? Say uh, X. Okay. Now, as a function of time, you observe his behavior and you give some curve for that. Okay. Say this curve is for situation 1. Situation 2 you take. See the behavior of the person. You represent that by a curve. When you consider the behavior of the person in all under all circumstances, then you will get the attitude of the person. Do you agree with that or not? Unmute yourself and speak, please. My statement is, when you observe the behavior of a person under different circumstances, then only you will understand about the nature of the person. Do you accept?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the response. Okay. So the behavior of the person under all circumstances together gives the attitude or character of the person. Similarly, a random process is represented by collection of so many waveforms. Each waveform is a representative of the original process. Okay. So there is no mathematical expression to describe each sample function. So it is a random process that comes out of the collection of sample functions. Once we have so many sample functions, what are the mathematical operations that could be performed? Okay. So similar to random variables, you have independent random variables, dependent random variables. So we have independent processes. Okay. Then the last paragraph in this page is Distribution and density functions all are associated with random processes. Independence of random process, first order stationary process, second order, and so on. What is meant by wide sense stationary and so on. Okay. By stationary, what we mean is the properties of the random variable, random process do not change as a function of time. Okay. Then next comes time and ergodicity. Time averages, ergodicity. Okay. You consider one sample function and perform the operations, or consider all the waveforms perform the operations. Okay. In this example, I have shown waveform 1, sample function 1, sample function 2. Okay, let me make it clear here. This is one sample function. This is, say, another sample function. Like this, I have so many sample functions. What is y-axis, please? It is amplitude. Okay. A I will write. Same is true for first figure. Okay. I can take one sample function alone, perform mean, variance, and so on. Instead of doing that, take all sample functions, observe the signal at a specific instant of time, say t naught. From sample function 1, I get one value. From 2, sample function 2, I will get another. So I will get collection of values. It is as though it is a random variable. Do whatever mathematical operations you have performed in the case of a single random variable. So the first paragraph in this page refers to mathematical operations that could be performed on processes. Autocorrelation function is there, cross correlation function is there, then covariance is defined, and so on. Once autocorrelation function is explained, we have power density spectrum. Okay. Okay. Then the other thing is the last paragraph in this chapter. It is, what is that? It is random signal response. Okay. Then autocorrelation function. So by random signal response and auto correlation, then okay, of the response, right? I am trying to see the chart box. Okay. Okay. It's okay. Random signal response, then autocorrelation functions of the response, cross correlation functions of input and output systems, power density spectrum of the response related problems. So last paragraph, what does it say? I have a, say, black box, two-port network. You have seen this concept very frequently. Two-port network, then in the case of two-port network, you have input port, output port. When you apply signal on the input port, you expect the outcome at the output port. When I have a system on the input side, apply excitation, output gives the response, right? When the signal itself is random signal, first topic in the second paragraph of this page, random signal response. When you apply a random signal at the input of the system under consideration, what is its response? In this last paragraph, we are dealing with systems. Please remember, now system has come. Earlier, we have dealt with signals, collection of signals. Okay, signal is one sample function, collection of signals is random process. Now we are dealing with a system. For that system, we have given a random signal as input. And description of the system is not random. Please remember, the system is deterministic one. The system properties are known. The impulse response of the system is known. Okay. Is it clear? There is ambiguity, randomness on the input side. Once you apply random signal on the input side, you get the corresponding response. You can find autocorrelation function for the input signal, autocorrelation function for the response. You can connect input and output, and you can call it as cross correlation. Once autocorrelation function is available, you can compute the Fourier transform of that to get power density spectrum. Once you have cross correlation function, you can find cross power spectral density function. Is it clear? So in this whole syllabus, we deal with random experiments, then the outcomes can be numericals, non-numericals. If the outcomes are non-numerical, we assign numericals. A collection of those numericals is represented by a random variable. Once random variable is defined, okay, we have the mean value of that random variable, variance of that random variable, distribution functions. Then the random variable can be continuous, random variable can be discrete, the corresponding density functions, what are the properties. We have conditional probability corresponding to that, the conditional density functions. We have the case of function of one random variable, function of two random variables. Okay. Then we have defined what a random process is. With reference to random process, we have stationarity property. By stationarity, what we mean? The characteristics of the random process do not change as a function of time. That is what stationarity. Then wide sense stationarity. Okay. By properties of a random process, what we mean? Mean of the random process, then the variance and so on. Okay. Then in this topic, ergodicity, time averages. But in this context, what I said is we can consider one sample function, take the means, variances, that is time averages. Take collection of sample functions, compute mean values, variances, that is ergodicity. Okay. Whenever there is a process, there is a time dependent signal, you can find out autocorrelation function. Once autocorrelation function is available, you can find out the corresponding power spectral density function. Is it fine? Then lastly, we have considered system. The system has got random input. For that random input, what is the response? On the input side, you can have autocorrelation function corresponding power spectral density function. On the output side, you can have autocorrelation function for the response corresponding density, power spectral density function. You can consider input as well as output, and you can define cross correlation function. This is what the subject is. So this subject is helpful for random signal analysis, statistical signal analysis. Okay. So this is to be used with signals and systems to understand what the digital signal processing is. Okay. The textbooks we refer to are listed over here. These two books we refer. I think soft copies are available in the internet. Please download the books and keep them with you. I will be referring to them frequently. This is what the lecture schedule. So serial number and topic wise I have listed, and on the right hand side the number of classes that are required, and I have planned to cover the syllabus in 40 hours if possible, a few classes less. Okay, maybe 36 to 40 classes. This is the scheme of evaluation for you. So I have planned 2 assignments, 2 minors. Okay, each assignment is for 5 marks, so 2 assignments 10 marks. Each minor is for 2 marks, 10 marks, so 20 marks for minors. Mid exam for 30 marks, end exam for 40 marks. Okay, the total is 100 marks. So your grade is a function of so many evaluations, right? My suggestion is never skip submission of assignments, never skip minors, and don't skip mid as well as end. In assignments, you can get more marks. Okay. Any questions from your side? I hope. Now, please respond for 5 minutes. Any questions? Just like that, don't sign off. Okay. Please
No,
respond.
sir. No, sir. It was clear, sir.
You are audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Please speak out.
No doubt, sir.
No question.
No, sir.
See, some of your
No, no.
names I have read when you are in first year. In first year, I have taught basic electronics course for section N, I think. I did not remember the section. Some of the names I remember very clearly. Is there anyone for whom I taught this UHV
For
class?
L section. PLD classes.
SS basic electronics course? No one.
L section, sir.
N or I did not remember the section, but
L section, sir.
M. Okay.
L, sir.
L for Lepakshi.
L for lion, sir.
Lion.
Lion. Okay. For some names are matching with what I have
Lion.
seen. Is it true?
Yes, sir. You taught us.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So be interactive. Okay. It is time for you to speak. If you don't speak, that habit will continue, not speaking. That should not happen. Okay. If you have a question, keep asking the questions. Very important thing is first you should start speaking. And in this subject also, I will try to incorporate a few UHV class concepts. I won't leave you. Anyway, today it is 12:30 right now. So I will stop at this point. Okay. Let me close the session by stopping the recording. Thank you for listening to me. I am stopping the recording.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Very
you, sir.
informative session, sir.
Sai Varun is online. Varun Sai. If Varun Sai is online, please hold on. Varun. The class representative is Varun.